Welcome back to the AI Ranch podcast. We are the company that actually builds AI, not only talks about AI. My name is Evalds, Ariel, and Paul, and today we have some cool topics for you. So let's jump in. So first topic, the post where people are claiming that VEO3, the Google video generator, is generating more watched videos than human-generated videos on TikTok. So it says that the videos generated by this AI tool got 24% watch rate, and the human-generated videos for this guy got only 3.6% watch rate. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think we in the office with Paul, we already talked about this in, I think, May, when I noticed on X, or was it, I don't actually use TikTok, so I think it was X or YouTube. I saw these micro movies, and basically there were actors that I have never seen in very like unusual scenes, very short, and I kept thinking, like, what's going on? This is not from real movie, and it seemed they have good engagement. So I obviously did a perplexity check, and yeah, as it turns out, there's a trend, these micro movies generated by the new video tools. But I think what that post is saying is that all these video tools, they somehow figure out a way how to raise the engagement or get into those dopamine loops so you're more interested in watching them. So I think there's definitely something happening. I think some people have already seen it.
Not frequently, but sometimes I do watch TikTok, and I have seen maybe one AI-generated video in all this time, and I do not completely. I don't know who has made this research. Maybe you know.
Oh, it's not a research. It is just a guy.
Oh, it's just a claim.
Yeah, no, it's not the only claim. He posted some kind of statistics from his TikTok.
That's the point. That's TikTok has very good targeting algorithm, and if you watch one type of video fully, your feed will be full of them. And if he watched one AI video, I'm not surprised that his feed is full of AI videos, and the only one who could claim this statistic, and I would trust, is the TikTok itself, because given how broad the consumer base is for it, and how well it segregates people into categories and videos that will like, it's hard to tell how true is it.
I think sometimes people are also trying to figure out whether that's an AI content or is human created. And once they figure out maybe it's an AI content, maybe it's just a luck that they're more interested in seeing how does it work. Maybe somebody clicks away right away. I actually saw an ad recently, and there was this girl promoting some sort of product, and it's obviously AI girl, and she looks beautiful woman, right? And all I'm thinking about is that there is no way, the way how they position her, this would be generally allowed in like a normal advertising studio. It was very on the edge of saying this shouldn't be on the internet, how they position it. First of all, Google allowed this, so I'm not sure whether Google is just kind of desperate for money, but the other thing is that AI, whatever generated girl, probably drives sales because they have left it there.
Right now, I think the most VEO3 generated image videos are on the likes of this, like these vlogs, right? So this is very popular way because the model is very good at building these kind of close-up videos where
it has a lot of training data for it.
Yeah, exactly. They have training data
on surprise Google platform, YouTube.
Yeah, and like here's the Trojan horse, right? So basically, it's really fun, I think, in the way that maybe that's why people are watching these, because like these are vlog type of small and the people are creative. They're creating like vlogs from Egyptian time, from Spartan time. Maybe that is just like a trend, right? Maybe in 3 months, 6 months, nobody will care.
Where else you can see Jesus vlogging?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think there's also
one Latvian guy made with the large places.
Yeah, I think I saw that one.
Yeah.
I think there's also a little bit of sinister thing about this. Again, I saw this recently, is that somebody said video is owned by Google. Google owns YouTube. And let's say an AI is changing the way how videos will be produced. So less YouTubers will make videos themselves. They will lose revenue, so they'll leave the platform and YouTube will die. Let's say that is the case. Unless Google creates a new tool that generates videos and so they upload it on YouTube and YouTube never dies. Only the YouTubers die. So it's just a little bit of sinister way how to look at it as sort of like a business case where...
But everyone is making video models, just like Midjourney and DALL-E were the first ones to make good image models. Google finally caught up. Now they are ahead with video models, but there's no saying, I don't think they bet their company like in this way. There's definitely a possibility that shorts are more watched in this.
So for instance, there is like a really narrow case, which I actually am a user of. So, and this is basically in the January, there were this channel that basically creates 80s style music, ambient music style videos. And it got from like 100 subscribers to 30 million subscribers right now. And I myself, sometimes in the background office music, I put some of these ambient noises. And one of them is, for instance, X-Files, this TV series, and where Mulder is sitting in his office, and it's clearly generated AI video, but it's so alive. It's like an actual office, and it's a Mulder and these X-Files noises, and I'm like, I'm really enjoying it. 100% AI media.
How are you using it?
You didn't hear?
No, I hear, but like, how, like you said, you put this all
ambient noise. So if, when you work, you don't want to be too
just like you're
distracted.
putting the rain audio on.
Oh, yeah, like
and how are you making the video?
the video.
Ariel's had to get a great monitor in the office just to use it for background
4K.
videos. He's only using his MacBook Air screen for actual work.
So in the 4K you have Mulder and then the basic stuff on the basic video. But I mean, I see that there is a specific new kind of market fit for the AI media. What I mentioned some of my friends, and this happened last year, by the way. I said 2010s was about social media and 2020s is about AI media. And what I've seen is that that has already happened with, for instance, Japanese anime, especially illustrations, because in like 2015 or something like that, you know, people were drawing anime. Then the models came. Nobody now really draws things. Everything's generated.
I will disagree. There's a lot of parts of the internet where everything is still drawn. And there are still a lot of communities that forbid or ask to tag AI content just because they value the artists, the creators themselves consume mostly other artists' work, not AI work. You as a just casual consumer will consume more AI because that's more pleasing to the eyes of general person.
There's another angle, by the way. This today I got a call from Ministry of Economics about the situation where we need the national stance on.
That sounds kind of private stuff. You're gonna publish that on podcast?
We'll see. So if I get in trouble, then let it be. So the stance on a case in Hungary, in Europe, where there is actually Google being sued by a company that Google is using their books, the content of the books for training the large language models, and this is like the case for future laws and regulations, basically, about the copyright. So it is actually in the EU AI Act written that there is a copyright clause that if somebody is using the anime images, somebody using the books or something for training models, they should get a fair share of the revenue. And now this is actually coming to first prolific case in the Europe.
So if I understand correctly, this is sort of making regulations around this topic, and so the creators could also have some sort of fair share if the models have been trained on their data.
Yeah, it will come to that for sure. Like the Europe, I think, is one of the first ones in that direction, where they have this overly bloated AI act, but there is the copyright part. Like you can go back in 50 years, somebody would tell that listening in the radio, your song or on the internet, right? Somebody will get paid for that, but
radios still have to pay different licensing to play the audio.
exactly, that's my point.
So yeah, it makes sense that AI shouldn't be different. You shouldn't be able to just gather all the data, eat it, and get fat on it.
That's actually one of the directions. I need to find exactly the place, but Adobe is one of the rare companies who are already
because they got a big backlash after they changed their policies to that they can use any of the work pieces. So if I buy my license, which is also for commercial use, I use it for my work things, something secret or something, they still claimed at that point all the rights to train models on that, those images, those everything, and they got huge backlash.
But of course, okay, so you're right. But at the same time, even if they got the backlash, they are actually doing the right thing, and they, without the regulation, already are training the models, at least publicly they say, on copyrighted iOS content where they pay the creators. So that's a big difference from many other companies.
There's also the platform Getty Images, which is one of the biggest stock photo marketplaces. They also introduced a checkbox. I think it was by default ticked on, which wasn't nice, but basically which said allowed to use my images in AI training and get some payment for it. It's definitely less than if some publisher buys them, but it's at least something.
At least something, right?
I mean, just from my side to wrap up the initial idea about engagement, I think that there's definitely happening early signs of AI media taking over in 2020s, and they will figure out how to even raise the engagement more. So when you see ads or some viral videos, they will most likely be AI generated. And then maybe there will be some sort of regulations of toggle, like, you know, in X you have for you and AI generated. Even that law, like I was in Denmark or somewhere, they said that there is a regulation for social media that they cannot use AI feed. You only can see timelines. So the idea would be that you'll see things as in like 2000s.
I think it was for kids under 13 or something like that.
So you don't get that dopamine loop. So I think that might happen with AI media too, where you toggle off and it somehow figures out which are AI generated, so you're not in these super loops.
People will prefer AI generated content.
It's not
many will, but I don't think everyone will. Just like people still prefer old cars, old something, even though new ones are by all the numbers better.
Sure.
Mark my words, like last week there was this study published, a massive study about how when people turn off their Facebook or Instagram, over time, like weeks, their depression decreases, their happiness increases. So basically all the negative effects goes positive, only because they got off the social media. And this is a big thing because usually you would have these studies where it's the opposite, you know, increased depression because of use. This was the opposite. So you stop using and you go. And one of the reasons why I say,
because social media is a drug, just like nicotine, just like caffeine, just like everything.
And this is
once
why
you stop using it, you go through withdrawals, and then your body normalizes. You once again generate your own dopamine from everyday activities.
That's what I mean, and that's what happened with AI media. Once there will be this super highly engaging video content for your interest. Let's say you like Porsche cars or just car videos, and you see all these super nice car videos all the time, and then somebody posts some like homemade video. Oh, that's not interesting. And so you're so overstimulated that, you know, your dopamine loops are very high end. and then there in 5 years, maybe 10 years, there'll be regulations. If you use AI media, it's sort of warning saying your dopamine loops might increase.
I don't think there will be any warnings or anything.
That was with cigarettes and alcohol. At least here in Baltics, Latvia, we have warnings if you use alcohol or cigarettes. You
Oh,
might
yeah,
have
I think he
addictions.
has a point, like regarding especially the social media and kids, but also.
There will be regulations how much AI content can be shown, but I don't think it will be in form of warning, at least in Europe. Europe will just ban it. I usually hate to go into your mindset that Europe tries to ban everything, but some things... No, I don't.
I don't
regret going in that. I approve some of those bans that you do not.
Yeah, I am definitely not approving level 5 autonomy ban in Europe. As I hear that now robo taxis are in every city in America, so that's not cool.
Yes, the taxis are everywhere. Maybe that's because they want to protect our workforce. But from the regulation point, I had a better question for you as someone who talks actually with these ministries and so on. Why are VEO and in general the deepfake category so low in the danger listing in Europe? Because there have been cases where people have been tricked into thinking that something is true or resharing some viral news that actually are not news. It's just VEO generated, not exactly Jesus like the videos you showed, but similar style of content that looks real.
Yep, they are by the way categorized as limited risk. And all of the solutions which actually make money are high risk, and also in the limited.
But this makes money. This can make money for companies.
Yeah, sure. I know. I mean, I was meant that, like the things that we do, right, with a company, all of these are under the high risk, and then somebody making deep fakes and also making money in some kind of malicious way. This is a very acceptable risk.
I guess it's because there are less of those people right now, and when there will be more, then Europe will flip, maybe, hopefully.
But I would say that I saw we recently had the elections, right? The local elections. And there were at least 2 ad campaigns where opponents were used in advertising with deepfakes. But they were like tags written, "This is a deepfake." But people still looked at it because it was like an ad.
Yes, but it's good that they at least claim this.
They must add, actually, by the European law that is not yet enforced.
And my point is that it was sort of, they used this as a trick to get attention, because that's the topic. But when I think about real deepfakes, like we used, what was it, Weed, or was it one of those captions AI? We tried to deepfake you as an AI ranch Evalds, right? And everyone was said, "Oh, this doesn't look real," right? And so, yeah, okay, the voice, maybe the movements, but I think the actual thing that will really flip the thing is capture the personality. Because if I feed Pulse something like a prompt and there's a deepfake of Pulse, in like about 5 seconds, I can tell that something's off because I know Paul's personality. He would not be so positive, or he would not be so.
But that's just question of time when the video, when you will be able to add some tag to text saying this is said in the angry voice.
Yeah, but it's nuances, like knowing like how you do. That's like basically.
But for example, for elections, no one knows any of those people so closely to tell that. For someone on the internet who claims, I don't remember what was the claim that time, but for example, claims that one of the bridges will soon be demounted. No one knows that person. They will believe it. We knew that Evalds was faked in that attempt because we know Evalds. Someone else who would have watched it probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I think, especially the new generation, we have this awareness that this is happening, and people are more suspicious of these type of.
But the new generation is not even the main target audience for anyone who would fake. Who's calling scam calls? Who's receiving scam calls? not the new generation. It's our grandmas or grandpas who's getting scammed out of a lot of money because they believe that. And that's the thing we need to look at. Not if we can tell, if general public and older parts of the public can tell.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just that it's almost something like you know, when the social media came and that there was some content that also came and they needed to have some regulation around it, but it didn't stop the train. The general social media still was growing. You know, there were more trends, new ways, and then you had the dark side of it. And so now I guess the dark side
There is another direction
suppressed.
where it could go. Actually, one way is basically what you briefly mentioned in X and other platforms. They're going in direction that you subscribe and pay for content, and then you subscribe to content you trust. That is one direction, monetary way to make sure that you filter out unreliable sources. Another way is you could actually add the digital signatures to the content, basically.
Actually, you mentioned Adobe. Adobe is doing this. In the latest Lightroom, I noticed that they have added a beta feature where you can embed in the image file or either small signature and upload the metadata to their cloud, or even embed in the image itself information about who you are, who was making edits, what edits were made, what AI edits were made, and that's something that's very interesting and very cool.
That's definitely a direction, I think, where there is a trusted authority that checks if this signature is real. So basically, if somebody makes a video in a political campaign, you can verify if this video is real or not, but not in the basis of detecting AI-generated
But
stuff.
once again, we return to the fact that I can AI generate image and put it through Lightroom afterwards.
Yeah, sure, but
I'll
again, the signature would be associated with the right person, basically.
That's true. And how big of a part of public will be able to do this and know to do this and want to do
Sure,
this?
still there is these gatekeepers that
Of course, yes.
yeah, where you trust somebody. So it's funny how it goes back to the trust. Basically, it's not about actually the kind of quality of content, the things of that, but who do you trust? It actually goes back to even to the platforms. Basically, if you look in TikTok, you kind of trust that that algorithm, that company, basically goes in direction where you want to go. To conclude this podcast, like, how do you evaluate who do you trust, Paul?
Don't trust anyone. Check the information, check what you're reading, check what you're seeing, and that's the only way. If there are many sources reporting on it, either it's really good fake, or you will see that someone has spotted that it's fake if you don't feel in your gut that it's correct.
So that's a great way how to conclude. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and see you in the next one.